Hello, Group 1. It is the SunSage, and thank you so much for tuning into your next pick a card reading, their perception of you. So I'm going to take a look at the person you're connected to, their energy, to see what their current perception of you is, right? I feel like this is a good time to do it. We're in Pisces season still. We are about to transition into Aries season, but while we're still in sort of this dreamy, really sort of intuitive, emotional space, I want to get this energy. All right. So I'm going to take a look at whoever you're connected to. You don't have to be separated from them for this to resonate for you. I just want to see what their perception is. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. You guys have selected the rose quartz. All right. That is what you were drawn to. And we also have the Hocus Pocus Tarot. So I want to kind of do a little bit of, all right, let's see. Let me just grab one from each to see what is their perception of you. What are some things that will come through in Group 1's reading? Thank you so much. Support. Okay, and let's grab another. What is their perception of you? Thank you. Girl talk. Time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. It's interesting because, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I had started you guys' reading, Group 1, and I was just getting like a weird feeling. And so I stopped it and started over before I got too deep into it. But I had some of those very same themes of fun, and you're traveling and you're spending time with your friends. This person's perception is following into another reading about you, and these themes are consistent. So I am picking up on someone who feels like they are very perceptive when it comes to what could be going on in your life right now. You're getting a lot of support from friends. Their perception is that you are not alone. Their perception is that you do have a good support team. You do have people to make you feel good about yourself and about your situation. They could know, that you come from a good family or that you have a good friendship circle, but their perception, right, what they may not know for a fact, but what they're picking up on is that you have retreated to this support team and that you have found a lot of solace in this recently. So look, you could feel like you are single right now. We'll get more with the tarot, what could be going on with you and your person, but it's definitely showing up that their perception is somewhat of a disconnect from them, or you're disconnecting from them emotionally. Maybe you haven't called them as often. Maybe you're not texting. Maybe you're not even looking forward to the text. So energetically, there's something that feels like you're pulling back, but that you're also surrounded by people who do embrace you and who do have something that you feel like you are happy to be involved in right now, right? If this is someone who gives you a lot of excuses about the things they can't do, if this is someone who in your connection has not been very consistent, well, you are going to people who are consistent, people who do give you the things that you do require from you. So I do feel the energy that a lot of you, your person does pick up that you're single, but they may be also picking up that you're disconnecting from them in a sense, so that you can focus on some of the things here, living in the moment and having fun, right? Not losing out on time in your life just because this relationship isn't going the way that some of you may want it to. So they're perceptive. They're picking up that a lot of you have found some sense of joy without them. They're picking up that you have found a sense of community and friendship in your life, and that is sustaining you. You don't need their support at this time. So, or maybe they're unable to give it, right? It's not that you wouldn't welcome it, but they do feel like you're spending a lot of time with friends. And I feel like a lot of that is because you haven't really been closely connected to them, or as closely connected to them as you used to. So let's see what the tarot says. Thank you so much. What is this? The Eight of Pumpkins in the reverse. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse here. What else do we have for their perception of you? Thank you. We have the Fool. Interesting. All right. The The Master. So this is, because this deck is a little different. This is the Devil. Yes, this is the Devil, because there's another card where it's kind of hard to figure out what they are, and it's Death. But that is, and I was like, is that Death? But no, this is the Devil, right? It's there, but it's in the reverse. So let's see what else is coming through for you guys. The Chariot. Yeah. You're on the move, or you have been, or that's their perception. The Seven of Pumpkins, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, we got two. There it is. Transformation in reverse. That is that is Death in reverse. And we also have the Lovers in the reverse. Very interesting. I'm actually going to grab another to make it even here. We'll have 4 on top and 4 on the bottom for you guys. What is their perception of group 1? Let's see. We have the Ace of Pumpkins, the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Your person might be underestimating you a little bit, but let's get into the read and you guys can determine that based on what comes through. I have the 3 of Lightning, the 3 of Swords. Right now, I feel like an overall theme of you being on playtime is coming through from your person. It feels like they are picking up that you're disappointed or hurt by something that they've done, some things that have been going on in your connection, but you're not expressing it and you're not acting like it. You are finding ways to pretend, okay, like you're not hurt, like you're not frustrated with them through going out. This is their perception, right? Through going out, by being on the move, maybe traveling. These are some of the similar things I had in your initial reading when I was like, let me just start over and see what else comes through. But this is, it's different cards here, but it's a similar thing that was happening. And so I feel like it's coming through that your person believes you've been spending so much time with your friends. You possibly haven't been working. You possibly haven't been focusing on your business. The Pentacles messages are showing up in the reverse, which is where I feel like they could be underestimating you right now. They may feel like you're not like working hard or working hard enough. They could feel like you're playing around a lot. They could feel like you're not serious about things at this time. They could feel like you're trying to hurt them. Their perception could be that you are trying to get them back with the 3 of Lightning here, that you are trying to do something that you know is going to strike them in their heart, that is going to strike them in a place where their feelings are involved because they possibly did this to you, or there's possibly something going on right now where you, instead of expressing how you felt about something they did or something that was going on in your connection, you said, I'm going to show them, right? So I'm going to be flirtatious. I'm going to post some risky pics. I'm going to, just energy like that. But they're picking up that you really are hurt, but that you are trying not to show it because you don't want to feel defeated. So their perception of you with the 8 of Pumpkins could be an overall message of you don't want to work things out. Right? You sure it could go back to, they could feel like you're not working or you're not working as hard as you used to at your job or with your business. But this could feel like, you're tired of putting effort into things in your life. And so you only want to welcome in things or invest in things that are going to be about fun and pleasure. So their perception is that you don't want to involve yourself in anything that's too much work. Basically, you want effortless, you want ease, you want things that are going to flow to you. Of course, they may not be interpreting it as that. They could be like, yeah, group 1 thinks everything is easy. Group 1 thinks everything is supposed to come to them. Yeah, but not with that tone, right? It is, I do feel like things that are meant for me should be easy or effortless. Even this relationship, right? So I am not going to pour more of my resources and myself and my feelings and emotions into this if you are not going to, right? And so I do feel like they may be misunderstanding what's going on right now. But they're close, right? It's just that they may be thinking it's more malicious on your part when really, this really does feel like you're giving up on investing in things that don't serve you. And so their perception could be right. What they could be underestimating is that no, I'm not doing this because I'm lazy or because I don't want to work or because I don't want to invest in anything. I am doing this because the things I was investing in and working on were taking too much out of me. And so I'm not doing that anymore. So let's clarify that. Let's see why the Eight of Pumpkins is here in the reverse. Clarify, please, the Eight of Pumpkins. The Nine of Wands, right? So this makes a lot of sense. Your person feels like you are almost attacking them by living your life freely. And you're doing that because you are hurt by how they've been treating you or something they've been doing in this connection that doesn't work for you or doesn't sit right with you anymore. And so that Nine of Wands feels like you're very defensive. Their perception is picking up. Group one, how am I going to talk to group one? Group one feels like they may be mean to me. Group one feels like they may not even want me to talk to them. So I could be blocked, right? That could be a perception coming through. But again, it comes through very strongly that you guys are over it. You're exhausted. There's been a tower moment. Their perception is that something that has gone on between you has lost its way, has lost its foundation. And what they're seeing is group one doesn't even want it to work anymore. Group one doesn't even want to do anything anymore. What you are giving energetically from me is you don't want to pour into things that are going to hurt you or take from you. So again, they're right about a few things. The way they're interpreting it is a little off, but they're close, right? They're basically picking up boundaries on your part. And so their perception feels like you do have boundaries and you're not going to invest in things that don't work for you, whether it's them or a job. You may have left a job recently and they know about that. Their perception is that group one's just giving up on everything in their life. Group one's just releasing all of these things that could be good for them, right? And they may not know the full story of it. They may not know that, you were overworked and underpaid. They may not know that this wasn't your passion and you chose to try something new with the Fool, right? So this person could, overall feel like you have started a new job or you do have something new and fresh going on in your life. Their perception is that you don't stay down or you don't stay down for long. And there's definitely energies here that you don't allow any sort of negative situations in your life to completely drain you. You find your way out. Their perception is that you are using a tower moment, a moment or a series of circumstances and events that have taken place to rebuild. Right? If something is falling apart, group one is going to find a way out of it. Group one's going to find a way is going to find a way to rebuild. Okay. So they know you're resourceful and they feel like you started over. Their perception is other people are involved. So especially with this Three of Swords, it may not necessarily be a romantic interest or someone that you're dating. That was something I picked up in your first initial reading too. I feel like you're turning people down or you're not interested in romantic partners. I just didn't get a strong vibe that you guys are interested romantically in anyone, including your person right now. And so what I feel like is they believe you are surrounded by your friends, by your support system, by family, people you love, your kids even, and that is where your focus is. So they may feel a little drowned out by the other energies in your life. Why is the Fool here for their perception of you right now, group one? All right, we have the Eight of Wands. You're on the move in some way. Okay, you could be you work from home and you don't go out much, but there is some movement in your life, right? Your business is moving, your money is moving. There's progress in your world in some way, and they're picking up on it. Their perception again is that whatever stopped you, whatever let you down, whatever wasn't working is not going to be able to stay a blockage for you. So yeah, they may be blocked and you may be keeping certain people out of your life and certain energies from getting close to you, but you are also open to welcoming new experiences, which is what it feels like you are doing with this Eight of Wands. Their perception is that you've been talking to a lot of people lately, and it feels like it's kind of hitting them a little hard because it feels like, I feel like group one's talking to people, but not talking to me. I feel like group one's dealing with people, hanging out even, but not dealing with me and hanging out with me. So again, they feel like you are doing something, even though your intention may not be to hurt them. Let me go out more and get sexy and post pics to piss them off. It definitely feels like there's something hurting them. Their perception is picking up that you are either doing something intentionally to hurt them, or your actions are that you are engaging in your life right now are something that could hurt them. The very thought of you starting over is something that could hurt this person, because that looks like it could go well with the Fool and the Eight of Wands, right? Starting something new looks like it could go well. Yep, Nine of Cups right here. So they feel like you're doing what you want to do. Their perception is that whatever you want to do, you're doing it. Whatever you want to engage in, whatever type of behaviors, whatever you want to make of your moment in your life right now, you are absolutely taking advantage of that. Okay. So the Devil in the reverse, again, I feel like your person knows you pretty well. And so while you may be a little more free-spirited these days, while their perception is picking up that you're a lot of play and not a lot of business or effort, you could just be on a break or something. You could just be reducing hours. They feel that. They feel a lot of stress leaving you. So they know something is up perception wise. And so the Master in the reverse feels like you guys have even given up control or surrender to whatever is happening in your life right now. Even if it's this relationship with them and not working, you're not fighting for it anymore. You're not initiating reconciling and getting back together. It's like you actually are okay if you have to start over, or you're actually just moving with the flow of life right now. So their perception is that in this energy, you are not allowing negative influences to be in your circle. But yeah, there could be people in your circle that are like, hey, you need to like just be single for a while, or hey, group one, let's just like have girls night, guys night, whatever, right? Let's just do something that feels like it's fun. It doesn't feel like it involves toxic behavior. It doesn't feel like it involves you demeaning or disrespecting yourself. It just feels like they know that you are done trying to control situations, or you are over trying to make things happen, and you're just going to let what's meant for you come to you. What's the Master in the reverse? You guys have Capricorn here and Aquarius. All right. You also have Cancer. What is this? The Master in the reverse, the Devil in the reverse here. Their perception is that you've released them. You've released hold of them, or you have allowed them to let go without fighting for them. That may be something they were used to, right? They pull away, they ghost you, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Where are they? Hey, when am I going to see? That type of thing you're not doing. So what's the Master in the reverse? It's the Three of Pentacles. You have a very strong support system that they are picking up on. It could be one friend, group one, that's like, don't let this person treat you like that. Don't let this job treat you like that. They feel it, right? You're making individual decisions for sure, but you're doing it with the help and support of someone or people close to you that want what's best for you. And they probably want you to start over too, the Fool. So their perception is that there's a new you in town and that you has a good team around them. That you is not going to be easily sort of drawn back or driven back to a situation that doesn't work for you. Okay. You actually feel like you're fighting against situations, work situations, maybe even religious situations, relationship situations that have been too restricting for you. Okay. A lot of you feel very free, just overall very free here. So you have been spending some time with friends. You have been moving on. That's that Devil in the reverse. We have moving on with girl talk. And so I feel like they do pick up that you have friends convincing you, you could do better. You could start over. You don't need them, that type of thing. The Chariot here. It's the number 7. That's why so that could be significant. Maybe they haven't talked to you in 7 weeks, right? There's somebody here who hasn't talked to this person since last July. There's energies that you're dealing with a Cancer who is used to you being emotionally attached to them, and you've detached, and so now they don't know what to do, that type of thing. So let's see what the Chariot is saying. But I do feel like, yeah, Two of Pentacles, something about your life is changing. You're changing course. All right. You are no longer in the position they left you in, but like, not that they literally left you in. However you guys last connected, so much has changed. Their perception is that you're not in love with them, King of Cups, or not in love with them anymore with the King of Cups here in the reverse. Okay, there could be a Scorpio and a Cancer connecting here. And so they do feel like you're moving on. They don't know where you're going. They may even say that like kind of sarcastically. Group 1 doesn't know what they want. Group 1 doesn't know where they're going. But it's very clear they sense movement. They sense detachment from you, okay? That Two of Pentacles is, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but again, I'm surrendering, I'm releasing, I'm letting whatever happens come to me, whatever is meant for me come to me, that type of vibe. And they, again, may be looking at that from a different perspective of, you know, you're not as focused as you used to be, you're not as determined as you used to be, when really you've just changed course, okay? When really you've just found something to focus your attention on that feels like it has a better return, okay? And so I do pick up where this person feels left out of your life at this time, and that's something that could be bothering them, especially because, you know, again, you were that lover, that person, that soulmate that connected to them, and you found it very difficult to not invest. Right now, you're finding it very easy. They want to know what's up. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse here. Why is the 7 of Pumpkins here for what their perception of you is right now? Group 1. What is their perception? The Hierophant. You're done investing in them. Remember the sort of, maybe even you're taking a break from some religious things going on in your life or a practice that you had. Routine. Their perception is that routine is not working for you. Just because it worked for you 5 years in a row, 10 years in a row, all your life, there's something new, brand new about 2023 Group 1 where things are just changing. Okay. Their perception, for some of you, I feel like they saw you cut your hair, or they like you change your hair or something. There's physical changes happening as well. It's not as highlighted here, but I do pick up the energy that you've become a different person, that there are new things happening in your life, and they may not know details and they may not be able to pinpoint exactly what's happening, but it does feel as if the way that you're responding or not responding to them right now is tipping them off that you are done putting effort into anything that was just there, right? Just a comfort zone. You're out of that. All right. Taurus is here. Lots of Earth, Capricorn, Virgo showing up as well. Let's see why we have transformation in the reverse. That's death in the reverse. This person's perception of you, you're not letting anyone control you. Their perception is that you are operating very freely right now. Like, even though they know you've got like a team, a crew, a friendship circle, you're doing what you want to do. They may advise you, or they may go, I think this is what you should do. But they know ultimately you have your own brain, and this transformation in the reverse feels like you're changing, but you're still who you are. Like, there's still aspects of you they know are still there. I remember, you know, Group 1 is very free-willed. I remember Group 1 is that person that you can't tell them what to do. So it's like, almost in this is like they know, that you're still authentic, that you're not changing so much that you're getting rid of who you truly are just because you may not be dealing with them right now. Transformation in the reverse, the Emperor. Yeah, and also you're in control in a different way. Okay? That part of you hasn't changed, right? You may have always been someone who was very take charge of your life, and I don't want to live the way other people want me to live, and I don't want to be the type of romantic partner that just goes along and does what my partner tells me to do. No, I'm going to resist. I'm going to fight back. I'm going to be that person that challenges. And so they know that's still there, right? Their perception is that you're a lot stronger. Okay, that is something that hasn't changed with this transformation in the reverse. Oh, you're still very strong. You're still very strong-willed. Okay, you'll still stand up for yourself in a heartbeat. Your boundaries are still in place. I think you always had boundaries, and you eased them up a little bit for your person. And now those boundaries are back. Or now they are, stronger. But this person's perception is that, yeah, the Lovers in the reverse, I'm almost picking up like they can't come back to you. I'm almost picking up here like if you had to choose between them and someone else right now, you would not choose them. Their perception is that they may have fallen so out of favor with you that you may not say it's over. You may not have said it's done, but you could feel like that. Gemini is here. What's this? We have Aries. What is this? Lovers in the reverse. 10 of Cups. I think this is them knowing right now, perception. Their perception is, they're still connected to you a little bit, that you're happy being single. You find fulfillment. You're not codependent, and you're finding fulfillment just fine. Right? Connecting to friends and family and being a parent and being a business person and working and, whatever it is you want to do, that is where your satisfaction is. You're not unhappy because you're not in a committed relationship with the Lovers in the reverse. Like I said, I don't feel like that was the message that came through. You're not really accepting romantic offers, and we got the Lovers in the reverse. You're not interested. And you're perfectly happy, right? You're not in a bitter energy. You don't feel like you're holding on to anything right now. That's a strong message that comes through, by the way. I don't feel like you guys are holding on to like anger, right? So their perception is that you're light, okay? You're not carrying any baggage, not even them. And they may be used to you doing something like that. So you feel happy. Even with that Lovers being in the reverse, which tells me your person's perception, group 1 is really happy without me. Group 1 really feels good and is living a good life and feels like they're laughing a lot and in their power and feeling in very strong right now with strength here. Their perception is that you're doing fine. Like I said, there may have been a little bit of sarcasm in that where it's like group 1 doesn't know what they want, right? Group 1's not even grounded. They don't have they're not working as much or they're not putting their effort into anything. But that is because they feel release in your aura. They can't put their finger on it, maybe, right? I feel like a lot of them can, but there's energies that they know. Ace of Pumpkins in the reverse here. You're over the fantasy idea of new beginnings involving relationships, right? The romantic kind. You are going a new direction, and you've accepted that may not include love right now. But that includes fun. That includes travel. That includes time with my friends. All right, what's this Ace of Pumpkins in the reverse? Again, this also feels like them knowing that you may not want to start over with them. Their perception is that you're not going to accept any offer from anyone right now, including theirs. Yeah, there's the Five of Cups in the reverse. So it feels like it's confirmed that a lot of you feel like I let this person come back way too many times. And so their perception is that you're done giving them chances. Okay, their perception is that you are over giving them chances. And so the Knave of Swords here at the bottom of the deck for their perception, they could feel like you're doing all this just to try to irritate them, or you're ignoring them, or you're turning them down, or not really allowing them back into your life to like just really jab at them, right? That Knave of Swords is kind of like a little mischievous, irritating energy. They could feel really irritated by what they're picking up, because what they're picking up feels like you didn't need them for support, and what they're picking up feels like you didn't need them for a relationship, right? They were relying on that for a long time, your feelings for them. So in the extended, guys, I am going to take a look at their perception of their relationship with you. Specifically, I'm going to see what their perception of their relationship with you is. And I think because I want to know what's going on with you guys, I'm actually going to clarify all of these with the with another deck to see break down all of these messages that came through, to see what is actually going on and to go deeper into what they're perceiving about you right now. I'm also again going to take a look at their perception of this connection, and I'm going to see their perception of what they think your perception of them is right now, and any other messages that want to come through. I'm kind of free flowing today, so whatever comes through in the extended. But that is what I have for you, group one. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, make sure you check out the details in the description box, and I am headed to the extended now. Hi, group two, it's the SunSage, and thank you so much for tuning into your next reading, your next pick a card reading, which is their perception of you. So this is where I get some insight from someone you're connected to romantically, on a deep level, on a soul level, to see what their current perception of you is, because this is something that changes, with time and energies. We are in Pisces season still, and so I thought this would be a great time because there's a lot happening perception-wise and intuition-wise with everybody in the collective. So I wanted to see what comes through. Group one had a very clear message for me. It came through pretty clearly, so that's what I wanted. I wanted to utilize, make the most of this Piscean energy, this Saturn in Pisces, Sun in Pisces type energy, to see what is going on with your person's perception of you. All right. And who knows, it could come through pretty accurate. All right. We'll see. If their perception does not have to be reality, but I think this was a good time to do the reading, because I do feel like a lot of you will be dealing with someone who's going to be able to pick up on your actual aura and energy right now. So let's just get started. You guys have the sardonyx, all right? And you also have the Wizard's Tarot, okay? So I'm actually going to grab two cards first just to get a theme, to see where your message could be headed. This was very interesting, all right? So I want to keep this going. So let's see. What is your person's current perception of you, group two? What is your person's current perception of you? Codependency. All right, and let's grab another. We have, what is their current perception of you? Paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So you guys might actually be dealing with somebody who feels like you are right now stuck on each other. All right. This codependency in paradise feels like this person's perception could be, look, group 2 likes and wants me the same way I like and want group 2. We're hooked on each other. We're stuck on each other. This could be a honeymoon phase. This could be a time in your connection where things are really looking up, where things feel like is really going to work out. Right. Of course, with the codependency, which kind of has that negative connotation, your person could feel like, if I wanted to like just take a break or just like be to myself, their perception could be that you wouldn't respond well to that, right? Because even though they feel like they may be the same way with you, it definitely feels like they're picking up that you guys are hooked on each other or stuck on each other, or that you get a sense of fulfillment out of this connection so much that sometimes it comes through as I gotta hold on tightly. And so I do feel like there's something about that and it being an issue at some point, but it may not be an issue right now for their perception of you. It just feels like they know that you really, really want them, or that you're really, really into them, and you're showing it. You're very expressive about it at this time. Let's break it down with the tarot and see what comes through. All right. So Queen of Pentacles, their perception of you, group 2. What is their perception of you at this time? Temperance. All right. What is your person's perception of you? Thank you, the World. Okay. Justice. All right. Ace of Cups. What is their perception of you right now? Two of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. So I have the Page of Swords here. Your person's perception of you right now is that you watch them very closely. All right. And this could be through social media, but of course it could just be you ask them a lot of questions. So sometimes you feel like you may lack trust. You could have a suspicion about things and you speak up on it. So they feel like when it comes to like, at least how you feel about them, you don't hold back, which is why I feel like they pick up that you're very strongly connected to them and that their perception is coming through like, you know, you would have difficulties letting go. That is actually a storyline that plays out on the bottom row of the cards, right? You have the Ace of Cups with the Two of Wands, maybe someone needing space. Five of Pentacles, someone feeling left out in the cold, and the Four of Pentacles, you know, sort of closing, this person wanting to close themselves off or create some boundaries could be a problem. So look, I feel like perception wise, this is coming through because they may be about to shut down or distance themselves, even if you don't see it happening right now or feel it coming. This person feels like they're spending a lot of time in this energy, curious about how you will respond to that, right? And they already know, you know what, group 2 already asked me a lot of questions. They already got to know where I am and what I'm doing. Group 1 already checks my social media. They're not going to take this well, right? I got to travel. If I got to do something that doesn't involve them, this may be a spot in our connection that creates some tension. So right now their perception feels to be very specifically tied to something that could be about to happen in your connection. A slight separation, and they are trying to get a good feel on how you might behave to that or how you might respond to them needing to separate themselves or distance themselves a little bit, even if it's not emotionally. All right. So let's go ahead and get the clarifying these messages here. So we're starting with the Queen of Pentacles for their perception of you. This person's perception of you is that you are quite wholesome. All right. You are someone that they can depend on. You're loyal. You're authentic. You're earthy. You're grounded. I feel like you do have these really amazing qualities that this person picks up on, and they're like, you'd be a great wife, a great parent, you'd be a great partner, you'd be someone who's really good for them to have in their life long term. Their perception is that you are a quality human being at this point. That is their perception of you. Okay. You are possibly one of the best people they've ever met. If you are not the best, if they have not said that, this is something they could feel. Their perception is that you're honest. Okay. What is this Queen of Pentacles about? Thank you. Let me do that again because that's 2. Let's see. Just one, please. What is this Queen of Pentacles about? The Sun. All right. So this person's perception is that you could actually, they could actually build a life with you, right? And that would be a very pleasant life. This is someone who goes, I'm not even nervous about if we get engaged or if we get serious because I know it will work. I know it would be fun dealing with group 2. I know we would have a good relationship. I know group 2 would always hold me down. I know we would find endless laughs and joyful moments with one another. So this is someone who really has quite a sweet take on you at this point, right? I do feel like codependency is them picking up on, you don't want to leave them. You don't want to not be with them. And so their perception is that, I feel like they do believe you deserve happiness. And again, they're very concerned right now about what if I have to go away? What if I have to leave for a little bit? What if I have to do how is group 2 going to respond? Because again, this feels very specific. This person knows you're a good person. This person knows you'd be a great person to live out their lives with. This feels like a very strong compliment coming from this person, that their perception is that you're just naturally happy. You're just naturally abundant and you don't mind sharing those things with them. Okay. So they're picking up on a good personality. They're picking up on someone who's beautiful on the inside as well as the outside. But for them, the inside is what's standing out right now. Your heart, how you respond to them, how you are so giving with them. Okay. So their perception is that you're a giver. You're someone who is very thoughtful. You're someone who is very happy for the most part. Temperance. Their perception is that you're incredibly patient. Okay. That's even something that comes through with the Queen of Pentacles, but that temperance tells me this person believes you guys have a good chemistry together. They feel like you bring out the best in them. They feel like they bring out the best in you. They just feel like you guys click and vibe very strongly. Okay. What's this temperance? You have, Leo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo here. What is the temperance? 6 of Wands. Their perception is that you're a winner, like you're the one who has won them over, or you're the one who has won their heart. I feel like this person doesn't feel the need to look for anyone else because their perception is that you are the one. I kind of picked that up with the World and Justice, right? I've gone all my life and I've met many types of people. I've had relationships, what for some people, right? But this is where I feel my heart belongs. We go from the World, Justice to the Ace of Cups. And so this person believes, their perception of you is that you have fallen in love with them or that you have changed their perspective on love. There's a lot about an exchange of love coming through between you. I feel like you guys pour into each other. It feels like a pretty equal connection at this time. It feels like, again, it's one where you're both feeling the same things for one another, even if it feels like it may get a little codependent or it may get a little bit like somebody's clingy or needy. It just feels like that's the vibe of the connection right now. You're getting to know each other, or you really like each other, or you really want to stay with each other. And so, yeah, there's a little bit of defensiveness if somebody has to travel or separate themselves for a bit, but we'll get into it. All right. So the world coming through feels like this person feels accomplished. Their perception is they have really found something worth holding on to. They've, again, had many experiences and gone through this world and met many different people. But with you, it's where they feel they could stop. I don't need to look anymore. I found the one. My mission is complete, right? I have this person here who makes me feel complete, who makes me happy. So let's see why the World shows up for their perception of you. They feel like you're happy with them. That's their perception. The Fool. And again, this is going to, even with the Sun, You know, their perception is that you would be a good parent. You would be a good, like you, whatever a new start for you both means, right? Getting a house together, traveling together, starting a business together, creating a family together, whatever that new thing is, they're ready and willing to do it with you because their perception is you're the perfect person to have these new experiences with. I don't need a travel buddy if I can travel with this person that I love. I don't need, friends if I got this person that gives me good advice and that I can rely on is going to steer me in the right direction. So this person is giving you a lot of credit here. It feels like their perception is coming through that you're a very fantasy person, right? Something I thought only existed in movies, something I thought with the Seven of Cups here, this type of person can't possibly exist and be for me, right? I'm seeing it in real life, and sometimes it's really difficult for me to believe that this really good, genuine, sweet, wholesome person is somebody that is connecting to me so strongly that we're planning a future together. Basically, that's what it's coming down to. Their perception is almost that they can't believe that they've found the one, or that they've connected to you so strongly, and that this is just the beginning, right? So their perception with justice, I feel like their perception is absolutely your marriage material. I got that before this even came through. But their perception is also that you're not going to lie to them and deceive them. That's a big selling point for this person, why they're so invested in you and why they do have such strong feelings. They believe you're honest, okay? Their perception is that whatever is going on with you right now, you're being honest about it. You're telling them the truth. They can ask you things, even that, that pertain to them. Should I get a new job? Should I do this? Like, whatever you're telling them is not to benefit yourself. It's the truth. It's a well thought out advice coming through from you because you've looked at both sides and you've been able to fairly come to a conclusion that feels like, yeah, you should do something different, or no, you should stay where the stability is. It feels like they know you're always going to have their best interest at heart. You guys have Aquarius, Libra showing up. What is justice? The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. So I'm smiling a little bit because I do feel like this is tied to a job, right? This person that you're dealing with, and this is like kind of outside of the topic of the reading, but it feels like they're considering taking another job or moving for work or something. There could even be a long distance relationship here. It feels like they have to travel for money, or there's just some movement, right? Because something is not satisfactory. They may have even recently asked you, if I could make more money doing something, but I had to be away for like 2 weeks out the month, how would you feel about that? Like you guys may have even recently talked about something. It feels like your person is not satisfied with an area of their life involving their finances, and they know you're going to keep it real with them about that. It feels like what's coming through though with this for their perception of you is that not only are you going to be honest with that justice, but with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse clarifying, you're not going to waste any time to sort of like tell them the truth. You're not going to like just try to make them feel good about a situation. You're going to keep it real, right? And so there's something happening in your person's life, whether you guys are aware of this or not. It feels finance related, and money related. Work related. And it feels like their perception of you is that you may not handle this change or these changes very well, but that you're going to still hold it down in a sense. The Seven of Pentacles is also coming through here in the reverse with the justice. Like, they have had relationships that have failed. They have had partners that have lied to them. And so their perception is that you are not them. They're totally separating you, right? We get where some people hold on to like, yeah, somebody cheated on me 20 years ago and I still, I'm going to hold on to that. I get where this person is separating you from the people they've connected to, and they see something better and something more in you. All right. So the Ace of Cups, their perception is showing up that this is real love. Their perception is showing up that this is a new love that they possibly haven't experienced before. These are new feelings. These are new inspirational vibes they're getting from this connection, and they like where it's headed. Okay. What's the Ace of Cups for their perception of you right now? What is the Ace of Cups? Okay. The Ten of Cups. Confirmed. All right. So you have someone who feels like you're happy. You're satisfied with them. You're unwilling to let them go, right? You're not, it's at least in the energy, right? It's not just like you're holding on to them, but you guys are building something or you're working on something together. So you're invested. You're here now. You're working through it. Whatever your things that you got to work through with your person are, and you're happy to do it because you feel like this is your soulmate. This person's perception is that you are their soulmate, and they feel like they're picking that up from you too. In the extended, I am going to go into what their perception of your feelings for them are and their perception of this connection overall. But you have a lot of confirming messages that this person believes you both feel the same way about one another, that you're both deeply emotionally connected and invested, and you're very happy with each other. Very sad. The Ten of Cups is I'm satisfied, right? I got a family, or I'm building a family with this person. I have a life we're creating together. There's no reason for me to look anywhere else. And you know, sometimes when you're connecting to somebody like that, you just want to make sure they're connecting to you the same. So if their perception is that you get occasionally nosy or want to know what's going on with them, it's because you guys are realistically planning, Two of Wands, a future with this person realistically. And you just want to make sure that's the right thing to do for you. So their perception is that you want to be with them. They don't feel like this Two of Wands is you're indecisive. Their perception does come through, though, that you could feel like you have your way of doing things, they have their way, and you guys just have to have a healthy compromise, which doesn't feel like it would be a problem in this sort of relationship dynamic. But again, they're concerned about something about that, right? And so I do feel like the Two of Wands is where their perception is that you're very reluctant to change things if it's working. And so again, if something is about to change, or if there are about to be a little bit of differences in how you guys can connect, they pick up that could be an issue for you. Their perception right now is kind of like somebody who's like, I wonder, they're perceiving right now, we got like everything is so good between us, me and group 2. Like, I don't even want to mess it up, but I really need to talk to them about something, or I really need to like make this decision. And I need to really know what group 2 thinks about this. It feels like there's something specific happening. Let's go ahead and break it down. What is this Two of Wands? Three of Wands. Yeah, it's about something pertaining to their future. Their perception is that you will be very supportive. You're all in for new beginnings and starting over, and you got something new going on with you, go for it, do it. But there's something here with the Two of Wands, with the Three of Wands, get you that Five of Wands, that conflict and that tension. I'm going to break that down in the extended and clarify that and see why we have it. I'm going to clarify all of these actually with a different deck to see why we have these messages, just to look deeper. But it feels like this person, their perception is that you do want a future with them, but it could depend on something. And we'll see in the extended what that turns out to be. Because see, their perception is that you have got this all planned out, and they're about to throw a wrench in the plans with something happening with them. So again, you know, I'll clarify in the extended. The Five of Pentacles, their perception could be that, look, you absolutely would be there with them through thick and thin, rich or poor, that you're very serious about, you know, holding it down. That Queen of Pentacles is definitely loyal, right? And sometimes when she should probably not be, but it is in you. And so they love that, right? Their perception is that you would absolutely be there for them through difficult times, through difficult financial challenges, that sort of thing. I think their perception, though, is that you may feel alone without them, or you may feel like they're leaving you, or like they don't fill you in on stuff, something like that. What's this Five of Pentacles? I feel like Six of Swords. I feel like their perception is that you don't like to talk about financial stuff to keep the peace. All right. You may have some issues with what they bring to the table, but you don't want to argue about this. You don't want to make a big deal out of it, something like that. Sometimes they could feel like you compromise too much. Their perception is that you just want it to work. And so you may, suppress some feelings, some very real serious concerns you could have. It feels like it goes to finances and stuff. Like you may say something like, oh, it doesn't matter what you do for a living, or it doesn't matter how you make your money or how much money you make, something like that. But they feel like it really is important to you, money and material things, even though that's something that you feel like you are dismissive of a little bit when talking to them. I'll go deeper into that in the extended, but if you're a Queen of Pentacles and we got this Five of Pentacles here for perception, it's kind of like they're like, how would you feel if I took a pay cut, or if I follow my passion and I don't get as much money as now, right? It's something it feels like they don't want to bring up to you, because they feel like even though you want to keep the peace, there's energies here. It will come. That is something that will trigger you and you will have a negative response. They may not have seen you be very negative. This is someone that may not have heard you complain. They may not have arguments with you or something. So they're very careful about how they approach you, especially when it comes to work and money stuff. The Four of Pentacles for their perception of you is that I think, they know that there's emotions and feelings that you keep to yourself, even possibly information, because you don't want them to worry. There's something happening in your specific relationship dynamic, group 2, where it feels like you guys have to open up more with one another, because I feel like they have more they want to bring up or say, and you do too. But you guys are so into each other right now. You're like, I don't want to cause any issues between us. Let's see why the Four of Pentacles shows up. What is their perception of you? I don't feel like they think you're hiding something, except maybe feelings. Six of Cups in the reverse. They feel like there are things you haven't told them about so that's their perception. There are things you haven't told them about your past, and there are things they haven't told you about their financial situation. But I do feel like this person believes there are just some touchy topics, some things you don't really want to talk about, some things they've noticed, they picked up on. Okay. I think group 2 has some boundaries with that. It's Queen of Swords here. You don't mind getting information about them and digging for that, but it's something about you giving information about yourself. You're very careful about that. And so in the extended, I am going to clarify all of these messages to dig deeper with a different deck. I'm also going to take a look at your person's perception of your feelings for them right now. Your person's perception, your person's perception of this connection overall and what's happening between you. I'm also going to grab some more messages to see overall what their perception comes through as when it comes to you in this relationship and anything else that shows up. All right. So group 2, that is what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you're interested in a personal reading, check out the details in the description box. And I am headed to the extended now. Hi, Group 3. It's the Sun Sage. Thank you so much for tuning in to your next pick a card reading, which is their perception of you. So this will be for current energies, the person you are connected to. What is their perception of you at this time? I thought it was the perfect time to do it. We're still in Pisces season. There's a lot going on energetically, intuitive wise, perception wise. You know, a lot of things are becoming clear and more vivid for some people. Some things are still a little more unclear and murky. And so we want to see where your person is with it, and their perception. Keep in mind, their perception does not have to be the reality, but I feel like I've gotten some pretty good, I feel like the collective is pretty in tune to what's going on with everybody right now. And so not your person, but for the most part, I have been picking up perceptions that feel like realities, that feel like it is what is going on. So we'll see what comes through for you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Group 3, you guys have the clear quartz. All right. And the Shadowscapes Tarot. All right. So I'm going to grab 2 cards here just to see what themes come through. Okay. I have influence and romance. I'm going to hold on to those, but I did want to grab one of these. All right, influence, romance, and what else do we have for their perception of Group 3? Thank you, the butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth. All right. So your person's perception of you right now, and what's going on for you energetically is that you're evolving. Possibly, I feel like this person is feeling like you're either about to outgrow them, or they're feeling like you have certain desires and demands, within this relationship that they may or may not be able to meet. The only reason for that may or may not be able to meet is the influence. This feels like their perception is, well, Group 3 only wants this from me because their sister is married, or because their friends keep telling them they need to have me commit to them. And so there's something about, they could feel forced to do something. They could even feel like you're trying to convince them to bring more romance to the relationship, that you could be trying to convince them to grow with you and evolve with you. And that could be the case for some of you, but it may not be in a forceful way, right? That they may be picking up on. It may not be because you're being influenced. It could just be because you're ready. And so their perception of you is that you are ready. They may question why you're ready, or why you're ready now for something more, or something romantic or more romantic. But I do feel like this person is getting that you're about to outgrow how things have been between you, if you haven't already. And so their perception is picking up that you may move past them, right? You may move right on from them. So let's just see what comes through for you guys in the tarot. All right, what is their current perception of you, Group 3? We have strength in the reverse. All right, what is their current perception of Group 3? The Queen of Wands. Okay. The High Priestess. The Star. What is their perception of you, Group 3? 7 of Swords. All right. Justice. All right. King of Cups. Chariot. Yeah. You know, I was feeling it. I feel like there's a few things going on here for their perception. Some of you recently had a conversation with this person, and you may have said things like, I feel like we're meant to be together. I feel like we should be further along. I feel like it's time for us to settle down. So there's almost a slight little thing of they could feel like you're manipulating them. We have the High Priestess here, the Seven of Swords, feeling like you're trying to push them, getting closer to like you could be saying something to them almost in a coded way. Like, don't our two friends have the best relationships with one another? Like, don't you wish we were like they feel like you're kind of like that right now, right? And I feel like the Six of Swords coming through, overall feels like a message of, there's almost a sense that if they don't answer right, to like something, like their perception is that you're trying to get certain answers out of them. And if they don't answer correctly, or if they don't answer the way that you want them to, you will move on from them. Some of you could be giving them the silent treatment. Some of you are waiting for an answer. Their perception is that if I don't answer this the way group 3 wants me to answer, they're going to move on from me, right? It doesn't even feel like there's like anger right now, or necessarily frustration. It really just feels like maybe a game is being played, and you guys are trying to pull more out of them about what they want out of this. And so their perception is picking up. I feel like you're both reading each other, to be honest. They know what you want, and you know what they want. You may not want it at the same time, but it both looks like you do have feelings for each other and you want a relationship, but it does feel like you are wanting this right now. You are wanting this to happen. I don't even think you can hold it back anymore. Strength in the reverse. That's why I was like, you guys may have had a conversation. You may have opened up and been very expressive about these desires, because something tells me this person's perception is that you are becoming impatient. Okay, you are tired of waiting for an answer. You are tired of waiting to see if they are going to take action, and so you did it yourself. Because we go straight from this strength to the Queen of Wands, or straight from this strength in the reverse to the Queen of Wands, right? A strong feminine energy taking control of a situation that doesn't seem to have direction. So let's see why that strength in the reverse is here. Very strong Leo. You also have Pisces. Libra is here. Aquarius, Cancer. Why is strength here in the reverse for their perception of you? You're growing impatient, Five of Wands. They sense it. You may not give off that you're frustrated, right? I was just telling group 2 this. You guys may do a really good job at keeping the peace in this connection, but you are closer to the edge, right? You are closer to, having your moment of going off, or having your moment of ultimatum, because I feel very strongly you have been having conversations with this person. They know you're a romantic. They know you're most likely requiring more out of them. They get it. Okay. It's not that they're not respecting it. I just feel like right now it's coming through that maybe they feel like this is happening too soon, or it's been you springing on them or something like that. But it feels like that Five of Wands is there's a tension between you and your person building, because their perception is that, again, they either respond the way that you need them to, or you're going to leave them alone and they're not ready for you to do that, or they continue, or you guys continue sort of not talking about the elephant in the room of your relationship, and the tension builds. So their perception is that you are ready to have a very intense, maybe uncomfortable conversation. And the Five of Wands is saying that you guys may not agree. It's like you both know this. Like, it's like you already are aware and prepared. They are already aware and prepared, but something feels like it needs to happen regardless. Okay. So your person's perception is that, you are ready to finally stop holding back on an issue, and you're finally ready to tackle it. And it feels like they're almost kind of like a little like, I feel like they're ready to have it too, or they are preparing their response for it. But it strongly picks up that you guys are leading this conversation, or that you are the one in control right now. So their perception of you with the Queen of Wands, you are somebody who has a very particular appetite. I feel when it comes to your sensual side, you are someone that is very sexy and someone who knows how to use your sex appeal. And I feel like this person, if they have any sort of hangups about relationships, they don't want to be used and they don't want to have someone think that they are weak to attraction, physical chemistry, right? And so I feel like their perception is that you are very sexy. But because it shows up next to the High Priestess, and then we even got that Seven of Swords that shows up eventually, it almost feels as if they're kind of afraid of how you may try to use this power, possibly withholding yourself from them, or possibly, using that to taunt them. I'll deal with somebody else, or I'll give myself to someone else. So their perception is that you're very clever and you know how to play the game if you have to. But I do feel like that strength in the reverse with that Five of Wands is like, look, I want to give you a chance to make something happen first. I feel like you want to give them a chance to be in control and to take the lead here. But their perception is that you are becoming impatient, and it feels like you're about to do something to convince them it's time. Convince them it's time to move forward, or you're going to move on without them. What's the Queen of Wands? Aries, Sagittarius here. What is this Queen of Wands? Thank you. It is the Hierophant. You're ready. It's very clear. You guys are ready for a relationship, or it's over. Ten of Swords. It's almost like they feel that type of conversation coming. Okay. You've been very nice to them. A lot of you have not been letting on that you're a little bit frustrated, and you have been, seductive and very, very, sort of receptive and trying to allow them to do what they need to do to win you over. But it strongly feels like you guys are about to give an ultimatum. Their perception is picking up that you're very serious about relationships, and as attracted as you are to them, you want something more, or you feel like it's time to go to the next level, or you will be done. Ten of Swords, their perception is telling them you're not joking about that either, right? That Ten of Swords is, I'm not going to say I'm done and then I'm not. There's something about you that they're picking up. Oh, group 3 would really be done with me. Group 3 is not going to just use this as a threat. They're actually going to do it. Because you are this person of action. You are this person who feels like you have enough control to give an ultimatum and follow through with it, right? Again, even if there's love here, and even if you really want to make it work with this person, I just strongly feel like their perception is like, you're not going to put up with too much more. So you want what you want. And a lot of you are ready for more stability from them. A lot of you are ready for this person to make some sort of promise to you and to start being faithful, or to make it clear that you're the only one that they want here. The High Priestess. Their perception is that if you're being quiet with them right now, if you're not saying much lately, right, it's for a reason. They don't feel like, oh, you just forgot about them, or, oh, I'll talk to my person. So they know that this is strategy in a sense. They know that you are the one that's waiting for them to take some sort of action. You're feeling them out. Their perception is that you are feeling them out right now, and you're trying to read them carefully right now to see how you should move next. What's this High Priestess? Taurus, Pisces here. Why is the High Priestess showing up for their perception? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Speed it up. That's where a lot of you guys are coming from. You're like, are you going to speed this up or what? Are you going to make an offer or what? Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is, yeah, I know you said this was going to take some time. Yeah, I know you said, but a lot of you are intuitively, your silence is creating some pressure on this person, making them feel like I need to say something, or I need to offer something, or I need to really make a decision really quickly before group 3 just like totally ends things with me. Their perception is Judgment Day is closely coming. Okay. It is on its way. And for this type of dynamic, it feels like there's a need for them to make it clear to you their intentions, their next actions, and what that means for this relationship. Because I think you guys are tired of talk. I think you guys are tired of like doing the same thing over and over again. I got that with this Hierophant. You know, the Queen of Wands is really someone who can definitely be traditional, but typically is more wild at heart and needs to do things in a way where it makes sense to them. Okay, so it was standard for your family to, you know, be together 10 years before marriage or something. I don't want to do it that way. I feel like you guys are starting to speak up a little more. I feel like you could even be making like little jokes and again, like coded speaking to them, trying to let them know, okay, what's going on? Because it feels like with this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, your silence or the things you've been saying that you're not saying, but they can sense in your tone and they can sense in your energy. It's almost coming through like you're making it clear, speed up. Okay, do something, or I am going to leave you alone. I am going to just say, forget this offer altogether. I don't want it anymore. So, some of you could be dealing with a slow earth sign or somebody that feels like they're moving they don't have to be an earth sign, but this is somebody who feels like they'll use their family patterns as an excuse. Oh yeah, we typically wait like a while before we settle down, and you guys are just not putting up with that. So again, Judgment Day is approaching and their perception is that they better come up with the right answer, or that's make or break. That's a deal breaker for you and you will be done. Okay. So the star here, you know, I feel like this person's perception is that it would not be so bad to really just give you what you want, right? I feel like they know they can trust you. They know they can trust you with their heart here. I feel like the butterfly is saying almost like this person is in caterpillar phase, still transforming and evolving and wanting you to wait for that to complete. But a lot of you have seen all you need to see of this person and you still want them. And so there's something about that healing the inner child that is the major holdup, I feel, in your person. And it's something that, you know, you're very familiar with. You also had like, you know, certain little things that you went through that were traumatizing for you relationship wise, but you're healing and you're moving on from it. And you feel as if this person trusts you to help them heal their own issues. But what action are they going to take? Okay. Their perception is that you want to marry them, that you want them to propose to you. What is the star? That is how they believe you perceive. That is how they perceive you to feel. Okay, let me pause. Their perception is that love heals these types of childhood wounds, and that if they would only surrender to love, the healing process can truly begin. You feel like this person knows, you know, they love you. What is the star? Two of Cups. There it is. Their perception is you love them, and their perception is that you know they love you. Because they do, right? There's too many strong messages here for it to not be that way. King of Cups is here, you know, but again, this person feels like they're holding on to their traumas a little tighter than you have been. And it feels like you've been able to surrender and release a little bit. And so their perception is that, look, it would be great if they would surrender and let you be a part of their healing process. I feel like their perception is they know that's going to lead them straight into a relationship with you. And I don't sense a lot of resistance from your person, I'll be honest. But I will say that, again, there's some sort of family tradition or some sort of this is just how I do things that they're holding on to that's holding this back. But it does feel like they love you and that they've acknowledged those feelings. Their perception is that you've been figured it out. So we don't even get that they're trying to hide anything, right? We just get that y'all are just, again, not talking about the elephant in the room, which are the feelings, which is the nature of the relationship, which is where are we headed with this? When are we going to make this happen? When are we getting married? I even sense like a couple here and it's time to get married, but the person that you're dealing with feels like they kind of like just brush it off and they find reasons not to talk about it. But this person knows that's exactly what you want to talk about and they're procrastinating. Again, that judgment day feels like you're out of like, okay, we're not going to do this for too much longer. Tell me what's up. But I do feel like their perception is that you desire a relationship with them and very soon. All right. The Seven of Swords. Their perception is that you are tricking them. You have been being nice and avoiding this conversation and avoiding some other important things you'd really like to talk about. They know that's you being clever, right? You and considerate. I'll say it's you being clever and considerate, but it's definitely you being clever. You know that a person like this who feels kind of fragile in the emotional space is someone who could get easily scared and pulled and pushed away. And so you're trying to convince this person through deeds and through a sense of comfort. I'm not going to hurt you, right? Again, it seems like they picked up, committing to group 3 wouldn't be all that bad, right? It could actually be a really amazing experience with the Star and the Two of Cups here, right? Their perception is that they're safe in your hands. But because it hasn't been addressed in a straightforward way, they know that you're strategically going around it by using the coded languages you use. And yeah, such and such just got married. Wouldn't it be great if we get, things like that? They feel like you're able to use, situations going on around you to try to convince them that this is the path you guys need to head down as well. What's the Seven of Swords? The King of Cups in the reverse. And also, for those of you that do play the game and you're very familiar with it, this is sometimes holding back a lot of what you feel for someone because what you feel is very intense and you don't want them to take you for granted, right? You don't want to become vulnerable. They have that same fear, but their perception is that you still exist in that space a little bit too, you do love them. But you ain't saying anything because you're waiting for them to say it first. For some of you, you are waiting for them to say, I love you first. You definitely feel like you've given them chances to take the lead and to do the thing. But the King of Cups in the reverse showing up with the Seven of Swords is they know that you've got a lot more on your heart and mind that you haven't expressed to them. But the time is coming and it's running out because the King of Cups in the reverse is somebody who can turn pretty emotionally dramatic, if their needs are not met or if something is not going in what they feel fairly for them. Justice. This person's perception is that you are truthful with them and honest with them, that they can trust you. Remember, they feel safe in your hands. They feel like they can trust you. They feel like you're trusting them. Three of Cups. This feels like a wedding. This person feels like their perception is that you're ready to get married and tell all your family and friends about it. And it feels very specific, like the next time you see them, this is exactly what you want to talk about. Because this is a celebration. All right. A celebration of something working out, something going well, something happening the way that it should. And so I feel like your person's perception of you is that you feel like eventually this is what's going to happen between you. Wedding, marriage, all of that. And I'm breaking down everything in the extended. I'm going to get more clarifiers with a different deck to go deeper. But marriage. Their perception is that that's what you really want out of this. No more, let's get to know each other. No more You know, let's date a little while, you know, no more of that. You're ready to be proposed to for a lot of you. King of Cups here. You're ready for this person to take action. You're ready for this person to tell you they love you. You're ready for them to express the feelings they have for you that you already know they have. Look at the turtles here, though, representing that slow moving energy of your person, just sort of dragging their feet, feeling definite love for you, but waiting for their right time to say it. Lovers in reverse. Yeah, their perception is coming through quite strongly that if they don't do this soon, because some of you are like, this relationship feels too casual for me. It doesn't feel official enough. This relationship really doesn't have a lot of stability. You could leave me any minute. Somebody else could come in the picture and I really can't say anything because we don't really. So it feels like the Lovers in the reverse with this King of Cups is this has to happen because it just feels like we're hooking up, or it just feels like we are. So overall, their perception is that you're not satisfied with how things are, even though you're, again, being nice about it and very considerate about their feelings before you say what you need to say. But I think the energy is coming through that even if you know they love you, if they're not doing anything about it, if they're not taking action to make progress with you, a lot of you don't feel like it can last. It can't. Lovers in the reverse. Not if they're holding back. Chariot. This is two things. Their perception being that you will move on in a heartbeat if they don't get it together, and their perception being that you're ready to take things to the next level with them. What is the Chariot? Cancer is showing up. Gemini is here. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Scorpio. Six of Cups. Their perception is that you are bluffing. Here it is. You're not going to really lead them. Their perception is that you may be giving off an energy, silent treatment, all of that. Like, if they don't get it together, they feel like they know you're not going to do that. You may throw a fit. But you guys are, like I said, you're reading each other. So they've already clocked it. You love them the same way they love you. And so what is happening is a bit of a strategizing game here. It's almost like two people that want the other person to say, I love you first, or two people that want the other person to say what they want out of this first, because it doesn't feel like there's been clear communication about it. Literally, no swords, like communicating type swords coming through. And so it's all feelings at this point. It's all sort of, I think this is what it is. And I got confirmation that this is what it is, but everybody has been sleeping on the power that an actual conversation can do to bring clarity to this situation. So I'm going deeper in the extended and clarifying this with a different deck here. I'm also going to take a look at your person's perception of your feelings for them and your person's perception of this connection. What is it to them? I'm also going to grab some more messages to see what their perception of you and this connection is overall. All right. So group 3, I am headed to the extended. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, check out the details in the description box. I am headed to the extended of what feels like is about to be a very juicy extended right now.